My best friend Juan and I received an invitation to a retreat located about 2.5 hours away from the city. Despite never having visited before, our hosts were enthusiastic about the beauty of the place and assured us we'd enjoy the weekend there. To be safe due to our unfamiliarity with the route, Juan picked me up around 5. We left a bit early to account for the possibility of getting lost. Little did we know how wrong we were in our assumptions. As we embarked on our journey to the retreat cabin on that crisp autumn evening, nestled supposedly in the middle of nowhere, we felt a sense of excitement. The prospect of disconnecting from our hectic city lives and work, as well as the anticipation of meeting new people, fueled our enthusiasm. Approximately an hour and a half into the drive, we observed the GPS behaving strangely, akin to the disorientation of a compass near a magnet. The darkness had descended. The weather had taken a chilly turn, and an icy drizzle added to the eerie atmosphere. We found ourselves alone on a desolate road, unaware of the exact moment we transitioned from the interstate to this secluded back road. As we continued for about another hour, a growing unease settled upon both of us. We should have reached our destination by now, yet there were no signs, houses, or other cabins, just an endless stretch of road with nothing on either side. I think we might have taken a wrong turn, I suggested. Just keep going for a few more minutes. We should be there any minute. Juan responded a bit too hastily, a hint of concern evident in his voice. We're lost, man. Let's just turn back. Just keep going on for a few minutes. We're gonna get there. Despite Juan's reassurance, another 45 minutes passed without any sign of our destination. Then, to our right, we noticed what appeared to be a police station. A small, disheveled, dimly lit, and grimy-looking building. Ah, what a relief, Juan sighed. Yeah, finally, we're gonna get directions here. Exiting the car, we approached the entrance of the seemingly desolate police station. Although lights were on inside, it appeared eerily quiet. Upon entering, we were met with a profound silence. No police officers, no secretaries, just an empty space that seemed abandoned for a considerable time. Dust motes floated in the air, adding to the quiet stillness of the station. Hello? Juan's voice echoed through the vacant space. How is it that there's no one here? I wondered out loud. We both stood in silence, anticipating a response. Nothing. After a moment, a rustling sound emanated from the back, and a door creaked open. Out stepped a very elderly man, adorned in a police uniform. He was a substantial figure with pale skin, and his uniform appeared surprisingly pristine.
Evening, boys. Where are you headed?
His voice carried a deep and mysterious tone. We were on our way to the retreat facilities nearby, but we seemed to be lost. Could you help us find the right direction? I asked.
Retreat? There's no retreat here. But you are lost,
the man replied, staring at us with an unmoving gaze.
Have you seen her?
Seen who? Juan questioned.
The bride. She's always on the road at night. I'm surprised you haven't run into her yet.
Juan and I exchanged glances, realizing something was distinctly off about the policeman and the station.
You're not far now. Just a bit more up ahead, and you'll find your cabin. Just not sure about your retreat.
Thank you, officer. Have a good night, I said, grabbing Juan's arm and pulling him back as we made our way out of the station. One thing's for sure, I'm not looking to get married, and I don't want to see no bride on the side of the road, Juan quipped, and we both burst into laughter. The shared laughter helped dissipate some of the tension as we returned to the car and continued our journey. Trusting the cop's directions, we believed we weren't far from the cabin. And true enough, about 20 minutes later, the road veered to the right, leading up a dirt hill where a cabin came into view. That's got to be the one, I exclaimed. Glancing at my watch, I noticed it was 1:18 in the morning. How was that possible? Had we truly been that lost? Regardless, we were finally here, but Juan and I shared a sense of bewilderment. The cabin appeared dark, devoid of any lights, and much like the police station, it gave off an abandoned vibe. Maybe they're asleep. I mean, it's past midnight, Juan said. Approaching the door, I knocked, expecting no surprise when no one answered. After a few minutes and another futile knock, the night remained eerily silent. Growing impatient, Juan reached for the doorknob, turned it, but to our dismay, the door was locked. Oh, great, I thought, not thrilled about the prospect of driving back to the city. We decided to explore the back of the cabin, where we discovered another door. Fortunately, this one wasn't locked, and we cautiously entered the cabin. The musty scent of old furniture, dusty curtains, and filthy carpets enveloped our senses. It became evident that the place had been empty for quite some time. This can't be the right place, Juan remarked. Not keen on the idea of continuing our search in the dead of night, I suggested we just crash there, no matter how uncomfortable it might be. We headed to the living room, finding a large, old couch and a sofa. This will have to do, I thought, and Juan agreed. Gently settling on the dusty sofa, I tried not to disturb too much dust. Juan sat on the couch cautiously, as if it were contaminated with some incurable disease. It's only a few hours. It'll be morning soon, I reassured. Unbeknownst to us, the exhaustion from the drive caught up, and we both dozed off quickly. Our peaceful slumber was abruptly interrupted by a noise outside, resembling the sound of someone moving something heavy. Startled awake, Juan and I exchanged uneasy glances. The noise outside persisted, growing louder, and it seemed to be approaching the cabin. We hesitated for a moment, then cautiously made our way to the window. Peering through the dusty curtains, we saw a dim light flickering in the distance. It cast shadows on the barren trees surrounding the cabin, creating an eerie dance of darkness. As the light drew nearer, we discerned indistinct figures moving in the shadows, unearthly shapes that defied explanation. To our horror, we realized the truth. The cabin wasn't abandoned, but a sanctuary for something beyond our comprehension. The unsettling quiet of the night now seemed to echo with the ominous whispers of a presence that had long awaited our arrival. We stood frozen, caught between the unsettling reality and the encroaching darkness, realizing that on our quest to escape the city, we had unknowingly stumbled into a realm where the line between the living and the long-forgotten had blurred into an eternal night. Summoning every ounce of courage, Juan and I hurriedly retreated from the window. Fear propelled us back to the front door, where we fumbled with the lock in our desperation to escape the encroaching shadows. The eerie dance of the dim light outside cast distorted shapes, heightening our anxiety. As the door creaked open, we rushed to our car, engine revving with urgency. Tires squealed as we peeled out of the dirt driveway, leaving the mysterious cabin and its unsettling secrets behind. The night swallowed us whole as we sped away, our hearts pounding in rhythm with the haunting echoes of what we had glimpsed. The enigmatic figures and the whispers of the unseen lingered in the rearview mirror, a darkness that lay hidden on the outskirts of our understanding.